Overcoming prenatal intensive care, paralyzed by health care, avoiding the path of destruction, and transforming and empowering communities through public art. Next on Carpe Diem. Good morning, I'm Racquel Foster, and welcome to this special episode of Carpe Diem. Today we'll explore the ways in which individuals and communities respond to and overcome adversity. In our first story, we will discover the journey of little baby Esther. Months before her destined arrival, a sudden complication brought baby Esther into this world. In this segment, we will venture into little Esther's life. Let's take a look.
Esther, I love you, Mama. And I can't wait to see you home.
First, I think it was denial, because I was just in shock. I was in shock because I woke up in the morning think I'm going to the doctor, and they'll probably tell me, oh, you need to bed rest or something. The most I was thinking is, okay, I won't be able to travel. Probably will tell me, okay, you need to be in bed. But far from thinking I was going to deliver a baby the next 24 hours and 48 hours.
They were getting ready to take her in because she would have to have a C-section. And we didn't know that until we arrived to the hospital. So, of course, we were all like kind of, I don't know what word to use. We were anxious. We were very anxious about what was going to happen. So they allowed us to go in, but it was like one by one.
Esther was born March 31st. It was a Saturday. And she was supposed to be born on June 28th. So it was almost 3 months earlier. This is her onesie. And it was big on her, actually, when she was able to wear clothes on.
A preterm labor is unknown to us, but a lot of that stuff also depends on the mother's health condition, the mother lifestyle choices, and certain situations such as, the mother having diabetes or high blood pressure, the mother having urinary tract infections or complications, or a mother who is going to have multiple babies. The uterus will overstretch and, it'll come early.
When I first woke up, I think I was still on intensive care. And I remember my cousin, Ruth's mom, and calling my name. Keep calling, Vanda, but I was so far away, and I don't even know where I was. And they kept like, open your eyes. I know you can open your eyes. So you open your eyes. And I think I thought I was awake and looking at her and telling him, I'm awake, but I guess I was not awake. She kept repeating and repeating. And finally, I kind of opened my eyes, and I think I just asked her, how is she? How is she? And they're like, oh, she's fine. She's good. She cried.
There were some complications, of course, and the way that she came out, for example, her skin was not fully developed, her fingernails were not fully developed, and literally she was the size of my hand. So we did not go into details about how she looked because I believe my aunt went a few days without seeing her because she could not go downstairs where the baby was until they were able to actually bring up a camera and a monitor so that she could see her baby that way.
Nothing prepares you to the first encounter because when I was looking at the camera, she looked big and she looked cold, everything was there. And after 46 hours, I told my doctor, I need to go into my baby. I need to go. So the nurse was very happy and helped me and make sure I was okay to walk around in a wheelchair. So, they wheeled me to the NICU. And at that moment, really, my heart just dropped, and I just started crying. Because I was crying because it was so tiny. It's so tiny. And so you could, actually, words cannot even express.
It's very difficult to say how they will develop as children. Some of them can have hearing difficulties that just don't go away. Some of them can have vision difficulties that don't go away. Some of them can develop asthma. And some of them do fine. Some of them can have some learning disabilities. Some of them can have speech problems. It all depends. It's not, easy to say they won't or they will. It all depends on each case is individual.
June 8th. And this is it. We are almost going home. Right, sweetie?
Once a premature baby leaves to the house, the parents should follow up with what we call high-risk clinics or special development clinics where they have to take the infants to be monitored.
Hello, Miss Esther. This is June 21st, 2012. And for the first time, little Esther is leaving the hospital coming home.
Honestly, it's been a drastic progress because baby Esther came into this world looking like she was the size of my hand, and now she's she's a full-grown baby. For me, it was just a matter of keeping everybody calm, but at the same time, you kind of freak out on the inside a little bit, and just to see the process of life. It's one of those things that you just cannot explain. It's so cute to see the progress, and just to see baby Esther the way that she is today. So whatever she may be, she knows that we are all going to be here for her forever, and she's our queen. So she's going to be our intelligent little queen.
She's a very happy, just thank God, she's a very happy and healthy baby. So it is possible, and if you go through it, there always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's hard as you go through the process, but it will be okay.
Thanks to the dedication and intense care of the nurses and doctors, Esther continues to develop and grow healthy and stronger. When accidents happen, it can leave a person paralyzed for the rest of their life. This next story touches on the life of a young man who is fighting for his life. Let's take a look.
Before we could actually digest everything that was going on, that's when shots was ringing out. I remember everything.
That New Year's Eve night changed Nasheed Sharif's life forever. On the streets of Irvington, New Jersey, while out with friends celebrating the new year, he took a bullet to his neck.
When I first walked in the room, what I saw was my son lying in a bed with so many tubes attached to his body. And just my son lying there totally unconscious. I saw blood on his neck. I could see the wound on his neck. Quite an alarming experience, something that I'll never forget.
Before this incident, Nasheed was a strong and skilled athlete.
Nasheed has always showed determination in a lot of things, whether it was in his academics, in his athletics, or trying to associate with the older guys. Yeah, he's always been determined.
No, that's good. Push it in a little more. There you go. That's all. Got it. It's even easier out. I'm good. Okay.
I understand that Nasheed doesn't want help when he's getting in and out of vehicles or trying to go through the door, where I may say, I can just push you through the door. I understand that he doesn't want that because I know he sees that that's where he was, but he doesn't need that assistance anymore. He can do it for himself, so he wants to do it for himself.
The hospital that I was taken to was UMDNJ. I was there for, I say short 30 days, so it was about 28 days, 29 days. I can't really give or take, a few days. It was rough, though. That was definitely, like I said, the time that I really was showing God that I had to fight for my life.
Nasheed Sharif went to Kessler Institution for Rehabilitation in West Orange, New Jersey.
when I had my opportunity to go to therapy, I never missed it. I was adamant about that, to make sure that I was at therapy. It was days that, you know, I didn't even want to roll over, let alone get out the bed to go to therapy. But I knew in order to even get half of what I used to be, you gotta at least put one foot down at a time. You know, you gotta take one day at a time, and you just gotta push yourself. When you don't want to do it, that's when you push yourself more. And fortunately, it's taught me a lot more about self-discipline and strength of not just my body, my mind, because it's crazy because my family has known me from the time I was a little guy to be strong. Like, even for my size, I was abnormally strong. So to go from that to not being able to lift your arm, or not being able to hold on to your toothbrush to brush your teeth, or a hairbrush to brush your hair, it's really no words for it.
Nasheed pushes himself by having his own rehab despite the insurance cap that he faces, which prevents him from going as often as he would like.
Another one that I do is called the squat. Coming up as high as I can. Go up, come down, catch it. Keep in therapy, which is my primary focus right now, to try to find some way where I can continuously get the therapy that I need. I feel as though I'm still in this situation because I was unable to, I wasn't able to get all the therapy that I wanted. I got the therapy that I needed, but in order, I feel as though, to get out of this situation, you have to like be above and beyond that normal therapy. And I'm talking about like 5 days out of the week, whereas I was only allowed to go to therapy 3 days. But I'd find a way.
Nasheed finds other ways to keep himself uplifted and challenged. He continues to be competitive in his first love despite of his injury.
I love Madden. And PlayStation 3 is, Madden is the football game for, the two different systems. I'm actually pretty good at it. Unfortunately, my fingers don't work the way that I want them to, but I still get the job done. Like I said, I got a lot of haters on the internet because of that, and they don't even know my situation. But it would be amazing for them to see me doing, playing the game and beating them in the way that I do, and I can't even use my fingers fully. So
I remember when he couldn't even move his leg at all. He was sitting there focusing on trying to make his muscle move. I remember when he was trying to speak. I remember him trying to do everything and saying, I am going to make myself get back up, and I'm going to do these things. And when I do, we're taking a trip to Brazil, because I'm going to walk, and we're going to walk around Brazil together. And I said, fine, if you get up and you walk, we are going to Brazil.
This is one dream we can only hope will come true. From the streets to the ring, Darryl Bunting has proved there is a way to escape a path of destruction. The amateur is now working to become a professional boxer. Let's take a closer look into his story.
I'm an easygoing guy, man. I go with the flow, and I try not to be honest. I try not to see the negative.
I've known Darryl and have been coaching Darryl ever since he was a 9-10-year-old kid. What happened along the way, though, the gym that we had in Asbury down near the Boardwalk, it got closed down.
Yeah, I was hanging out with my boy Chumpsy and Racquel at the Boys and Girls Club, and I seen Carl, my coach, and I'm like, wow, it dawned on me. And I was like, well, that's something I could dedicate myself to. That's something I could dedicate myself to, because I did it when I was younger, but I got so caught up into the streets is that I shunned away from it. So when I seen him, all that brought back to me, and I was in here that next week, and I ain't never leave ever since.
Having gone through some of the changes that he's gone through, life is what caused him to rethink some of the decisions and choices that he's made in life.
I was incarcerated for almost 2 years. I came home actually, and I did get involved in a little bit more activity. But then one day I did something drastic, and I just caught myself, and I'm like, you just was almost about to face like 5 years, 10 years of your life. Why you out here doing the same thing?
Some of the things that he's gone through, and some of the pitfalls and ups and downs that he's gone through is what caused him to mentally say, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to change my life, which is what he did. He has changed his life.
Daryl was in one of our programs that was funded by the Department of Labor, the WEIR program. He had came through the program 2 sessions ago, him and a couple other guys. And what was unique about Daryl was the guys that he had came in with, they all pretty much made a pact. And their pact was not to let either one fall by the wayside, to make sure that they all succeeded and that they kept each other encouraged and motivated.
That program over there is beautiful, man. A lot of people may downplay it because it depends what you're looking on. Like, they try to change a lot of these kids around here and help them out and do things like that. But I was the same way when I came there. The only thing I was looking for was, well, I need a paycheck.
Our mission is to help out anyone in need, period. We work primarily with those between 18 and 21. We also work with the older adults, and hopefully one day can work with the younger adults.
When I came there and I approached them, they was like, go get yourself together, come back in, pull your pants up, do this, that, and the third, and reevaluate yourself and what you want out of life. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's a question that I never really paid attention to or really sat down and grasped and thought about.
The one special thing I noticed about Daryl is he kind of reminded me of myself. And when I say that is, you have a smart kid surrounded by a lot of negativity, and still somehow manages to find a way to find some sort of positive within it.
When they made me do that, and I told them, well, I want to box, but I still need to make money for it right now, and I'm good at construction. So they're like, well, you can do both, Daryl, but you just have to be dedicated to the point where you're serious about doing it. And every step of the way, they were there for me.
Daryl, actually, the building we're in, he started working here to build it from ground up. Then from there, he had gained employment elsewhere. And now he's pursuing his boxing career, which we fully support and hopefully can do a benefit for him soon.
Every time I ride past that building, I get excited because it's like, that's a piece of history for me. And one day when my son gets older, I can say, hey, your dad helped build that building right there.
The fact that he's very passionate about his boxing career, you know, he's passionate about being a father to his kid, you know, those are main things that I find to be very rewarding when it comes to finding a youth in town that even cares about some of those things.
This year, I'm actually looking to turn professional.
He's one of those individuals, because of his athleticism, has really progressed quicker than some other individuals who are not as coordinated or not as athletic. His progression, he's really surprised me, to be honest with you.
It's like I'm still amateur, I'm still in that learning process, so I take it for what it is.
The drive and the hunger is what's causing him to want to say, I want to be a professional boxer. He not only says it, but he displays it. He's in the gym every day. He works hard. His work ethic is crazy.
My coach, he's great because he does a lot that a lot of coaches don't do. Like, we get a lot of experience.
I try to have my guys fight, if not 50, 47 or 48 of those weeks. It's a lot. It's a lot on the body. It's a lot on the boxer. But a guy like Daryl, he keeps himself in great shape. He keeps himself in great condition so we can go every week. And it's hard. It's not easy. What I do and what we do here as a program is very, very difficult.
My future plans, boxing.
Daryl's story shows that anything is possible with guidance and dedication. Our communities speak volumes. They influence how we feel about ourselves and how others feel about us. In the city of Newark, community, organizations, and the local government have created a program that aims to revitalize crime-ridden communities.
It's the City Mural program with the City Without Walls Gallery. They have like the Ironbound Community Center and stuff like that, and they all have their little community meeting, and you discuss the themes for the mural and what they might want or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of give and take back and forth until you finally come to a design that everybody can agree with.
Each mural is unique. It depends on who the community partner is. It depends if the community partner, they may already have a building selected that they own. They may not have the building. They may just serve that community, and together we find an appropriate building in that community. You know, say we're in Lower Broadway, La Casa may be my partner. It may not be their building, but they have a relationship because they are one of the biggest community partners in the Lower Broadway area. So it then becomes a collaboration between the community partner, the building owner, the selection of the building, CWOW, the city, and the artist.
You have to have specific abilities to have, you know, I'm Spanish, so they always put me with La Casa, you know, because you have to communicate, you know, with the kids. Sometimes they don't understand the English, you know, all that. So, yeah.
A lot of times they're not sure, like, what am I getting into? It's a new experience. So one of the greatest things is watching the relationship with the artist so that they have that mentorship, in a sense, from someone who is a professional artist. Learning things and having their interest piqued, and then watching them engage in it and watching them learn the basic fundamentals and then being able to execute it. They leave with a sense of pride, you know, and being turned on to art.
To me, it seemed like they had no idea that they could do this. Like, it was such a great opportunity for them. They were so excited. They, like, you know, it was something that is out of the norm. Like, who gets, like, scaffolding, you know, a whole wall of a building and gets to do a mural, you know? Like, only professional artists who've been doing this for years. And these kids just come in and, you know, it's, like, so exciting for them. They're so happy to do it, you know, and it gives them hope, you know, that they can, you know, take their lives further.
Sometimes you don't have the patience that they need in the process. They want it to happen now. I want to paint now. I want to see it completed. But that when it is completed, they have ownership. They have been a part of creating something that is a piece of public art. And there's a lot of pride in that. I've seen a lot of self-pride in that. And, you know, it warms my heart.
The reason that public art is a priority for us and why we feel like the mural program is kind of a shining example of this is the kind of community building and neighborhood revitalization aspects and benefits that this program has in terms of kind of linking community groups to local arts organizations and local artists, and kind of giving youth this this thing that they can be involved in that is positive for them, that teaches them real skills, and then gives them something that actually remains physically in the community, that not only kind of beautifies that neighborhood and that local stakeholders in the neighborhood can feel proud about, but those youth kind of have left that legacy that they helped create.
People want to come to a city that is beautiful. You know, people spend money on arts events. You know, they go to see productions, they go to concerts, and a part of it is the aesthetic. What is the aesthetic in a town? So people come to Newark now, and some of the things that they can see is public art. And that generates an income that brings money into town. Youth get to see artists as human beings who are professionals that make a living, and that it is it's a viable place to find a job. You can make a living as an artist. I am proud to say that we have been able to hire, you know, a high percentage of artists from Newark who are local, and that they can make money in their communities. And spend money back in their communities. I just think that's important, and I think it's healthy. This past year, youth were paid through Newark Works, so it was their summer employment to do a mural. So more than me telling them, they actually had the experience of being paid for their services to work on the mural.
You know, it's about beautification, it's about community building, and to the extent that we're using established community-based organizations in targeted neighborhoods, that really becomes part of a wider neighborhood revitalization agenda and kind of an explicitly economic development agenda for us.
I feel like, you know, it really helps people see a really good side of Newark. See how beautiful it is, how talented we are. And I think a lot of people from different places are attracted, you know, instantly from, you know, that kind of work. So it's good for us, you know, to get out there, let people know this is Newark.
The Newark Mural Program is truly an inspiration and a testament to the transformative power of the arts. We'll be right back after this public service announcement.
Won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Work hard.
My name is Irene Hernandez. I founded my nonprofit, Dancing Frog Theater Company, because I wanted to create opportunities. Not just for myself, because I know what it's like to be a frustrated artist, but for others.
That there is no reason for the Americans to be there. We have no weapons that can threaten them unless they go all the way from America. As young actors or beginner actors, all you want to do is get out there and work. And if you're also creative in terms of writing or directing, this kind of gives you the opportunity to experiment with everything, to learn, to grow, and to showcase your own abilities. And that's very important as an actor.
If you want to work with us, check us out. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and you can contact us through our email, dancingfrogtheatercompany@gmail.com, and I invite you to work with us so we can all dance our own dance together.
If you have any questions or would like more information about anything you saw today, you can write us at carpediem@mail.montclair.edu or call us at 973-655-5158. I'm Racquel Foster. Thanks for watching.